weather outside couldn't be better. They've opened the roof and the retractable windows on the sides, and it's time for football at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25.
Here we go, here we go. Here we go, tag.
Now the NFL's leading rusher in 2021, Jonathan Taylor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in Week 2. And it was the visiting Colts who won that first matchup. So they'll look for the season sweep here back home in Indy. Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw caught by Pierce. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Off play action, Tannehill. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Colts did a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Again, Tannehill. Back to the same target, Campbell. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
At their own 21-yard line.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of...
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Colts are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Andre Cisco there on the stop. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, If you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Tannehill. He finds Pierce. It's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over to the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
The slot man in motion right. To throw on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. And this one is incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Tannehill throwing again. Campbell making the catch. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. It'll be a gain of just a yard. And that'll bring up 4th down. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 28-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, it's still in the first half here. A long way to go. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Lawrence to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And here's Rodgers on the return. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something maybe they haven't seen before. Coach is always talking about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually. Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Here you go, Tiger, Tiger, Tiger.
Tannehill. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Gets this to Isabella on the jet sweep. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Andy Isabella, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, we've talked about it before. You know, this jet sweep, something a lot of teams like to run nowadays, and this one winds up in the end zone.
And it is all about creating different ways to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And wasn't an interesting part of this game?
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. They haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lawrence. He's got his tight end. It's Chris Manhertz. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. Trying for Kirk, and he's got him on the crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 34. And, CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact, and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
To throw again on 2nd down, Lawrence. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They go play action now. Lawrence under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and the line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack.
Well, he gets everything he could into this one. The trajectory's good. It's definitely on line. It just needs a little more oomph behind it. And it'll wind up falling just shy of the crossbar.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. All around great play by Devin Lloyd, using his athleticism to get to the backfield and his strength to stop him for a loss. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Tannehill now on the option left. Here's a third-year man from Utah, Zach Moss. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. That's complete to Pierce. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Tannehill. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 29-yard line. Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Let's go.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Now Tannehill. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 16. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now 14-0. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence airing it out, looking for Ridley. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. There he goes, left side. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Lawrence going to throw again, and he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Shaquille Leonard able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion to prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
From midfield now, Lawrence. He's going to air one out into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Colts are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Here's Tannehill. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. That ball caught by Campbell. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The final shot here before the break. Tannehill dancing to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. Fields this way up at the 17. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play action. It's Lawrence. Open man left side. It's the tight end Manhertz. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And he's got it down to the 28. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coached some receivers in the offseason. We worked a lot on hand placement.
Touchdown, Indianapolis! Jonathan Taylor, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now 21-0. Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. Fields this way up at the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
At their own 31-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. Steps away, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 138 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll go up the middle here with Moss. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now the pitch goes to Taylor. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So, you know, the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Shaquille Leonard able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And the Colts are going to take over at their own 41. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our 2nd half blowout material. On the counter, it's Taylor. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They run with Taylor. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. That's good for an Indianapolis 1st down on a gain of 10.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Up the middle, here's Taylor. Uses the stiff arm. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Taylor is into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, but that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Lawrence. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at their 48-yard line.
Ready, break.
2nd and 2.
Hey, hold it. Cover. Hey, shoot.
Now Lawrence to throw. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
3rd and 2, now Lawrence. Toward the sideline, and he will have the 1st down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And that's a tough one for the defense because the coverage was good downfield. He was forced to work his way out of the pocket to his right, spotted his man on the sideline, and got it to him to pick up the 1st down on 3rd down.
On play action, Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
205 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. They'll run here with Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Colts are looking to run it to 5-1 on the season as they add to their 4th quarter lead. The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Counter play. Here's Chandler. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Lawrence. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
The Jaguars on third down. Lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Lawrence. He finds his man, complete. That's Chandler. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
A gain of 15.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. He finds his man, complete. That's Chandler. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a and my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Go, Reed, go!
Tough running there before being wrangled down shy of the 15. Tackled there by Rayshawn Jenkins.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. Room here to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 245 yards rushing for him now on the afternoon as he just continues to pummel this defense. Back to Taylor on first down. There's a nice move. 12 more yards there and another first down. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
They go play action with Lawrence. Across the middle and into the hands of Ridley. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On first down, Lawrence. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Colts are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope